And you can see my screen, right?
I can, yeah.
Awesome. So it looks like you've been working on homework, which is great. I love to see it. I want to just quickly make our way through all the tabs of the original setup worksheet and just make sure that we've touched on everything.
Yep.
And then we can close out this first case called phase one, and I'll open up a phase two case for you. All right. Um, Utilizing the household profile update and the school policies, that's a
Yep.
yes for all families. And so if we go to our online enrollment homepage and we take a look at the master enrollment checklist, we do have both of those checklist items, the HPU and the policies, both visible in each context, both required, and also both are contract prerequisites, meaning you have to do those things before you'll be able to open your contract and start.
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay,
That's what I assumed.
that's
Cool.
perfect. Then, yes, allowing returning families to withdraw, and yes, allowing new incoming families to decline their offer of admission. So
Yep.
if we go over to, I've pulled up the one of the saved queries that I have in your shared workspace, just called record counts by grade and status, and then I just narrowed it down to show me the ones where the portal is open, so we can just use these links to see what the parent sees.
Yeah. That's what I've been using for everyone
Perfect.
else at the school as well. So,
Perfect. So if we take a look at kid one, who's under the new enrollment context, and we just click the URL to log in as the parent, what we would be looking at is the decline form down at the bottom here. So if you'll be declining the offer to attend Windsor School, click the link. They click the link. This checkbox is actually the action that marks their checklist. You know, we've declined the offer, we're not continuing. And then if they wanted to put something else here, they could. If they wanted to choose another school, which it looks like you've curated your list, and then if they wanted to tell you what school it is, if they selected other, then they could do all of that as well.
yep.
Is there anything that you want to change on here?
Not right now. Nope.
Right. Okay, great. So we will just get rid of that guy and then let's go look at Liliama here. In the context of returning, it would be a withdraw form. So if you'll be declining for any of your students for next year, click the withdraw form and it is now your school name, not Veracross Academy. You've curated your available withdraw reasons, and then I just changed the tag here to say additional information because before it said withdraw reason, and in my opinion, that's redundant.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
rather than be redundant, all right, any changes on this form?
Not right now. Nope. We're good there.
Cool. So we are completely cool with tab number one here. Tab number two are your payment plans where you have the three pay and the one pay, and then you have a 10 pay, which is set up. It's just not supposed to be visible to families during enrollment. And so if we go to your payment plans, you've got your one pay and your three pay, and then you've inserted your web
I
description
have,
along, which
yeah,
is great.
no, yeah, those are actually more notes right now. I will be changing those.
Yeah, you can.
I need to speak to Brandon over in student billing as well beforehand as well.
Yeah. Yeah, if I were going to make any suggestion here at all, I would say you don't need to say installment seat fee 10% deposit because that's already going to be reflected. But
Okay.
just describe what the plan is, right? One installment due by February 1st or whatever. Three installments due January, February, July, or whatever, right? Just be very broad, very generic, so that the description is applicable year over year, and you don't have to come in and keep changing it every time.
Got it.
And then the way that we're maintaining invisibility with monthly is by not inserting a web description required, even though we have that plan in existence. If it doesn't have a web description required, then it will not be visible on the contract. And
Good.
you can
Yep.
prove that by going to Liliama's contract and seeing that our only choices here are standard and one time.
Yep.
And do you prefer them in that order, or would you rather? kind of subliminally suggest the one time by putting it first.
Probably one time first would be.
That's what I would do. I mean, why not try your best to get people to do the thing you most want them to do?
Exactly, yeah.
It's all very nuanced. There we go.
There we go.
Cool, cool. Alrighty, so we're good with that. The next one, the next tab was the contract tab, and we've said that there is no tuition insurance, which is
Nope.
fine. You did say yes, there are some optional extras that are part of the contract. So what are they opting into? Like what are some things that get opted into? I'm going to pull up the amounts query. Are these things like the music program, the Golf Academy, the Blue Ocean, are those options?
Yeah. I'm going to say this might be a post-enrollment. It's
Does
only
the
a handful of kids, like especially the Golf Academy.
Are you like do you determine elsewhere, like during admission, that they're coming into the Golf Academy and that's like a designation right from the get-go?
Yes, typically yes. We have not really touched upon part of the admissions process where those would be.
So let me ask this. If the fee to be part of the Albany Golf Academy is 35,000, is that a fee in addition to whatever grade level you're in and the tuition for that grade level, or
Oh
is
yeah.
it instead of?
Nope. It's in addition to.
Okay. And it's only applicable if you're coming into or re-enrolling grades 9 through postgraduate.
Correct.
And is it an option that at the time of enrollment, say for example, if Liliama's family was, they were invited to come to their enrollment platform where they could open up the intention form, and one of the options shown would be Golf Academy, or they could not have that here on the home page, but when they click on the contract, instead of it automatically being listed here, which I think is incorrect, um, there would be a section here of options where they can say, yep, give me Golf Academy, give me signature music, and give me Blue Ocean. And just by selecting those options, they would then be inserted onto the contract and totaled up.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know we had that.
You do have that option. So let's go take a look at that. Let me just configure the, let's just do the Golf Academy since that's the one that we're looking at right now. Um, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to not your amounts, but rather your fee types, which you can find on online enrollment homepage in this core configuration tile called fee types. And the fee type is where that syntax lives that tells the
Okay.
system what to do with with that money or with those amounts. So if we go to the AGA one here, what we could do to make it be optional is come in here and put the word optional instead of fee. I just want to make sure. I always echo the refund insurance. ORE optional, optional AGA. Okay. And so if we do that, and then we maybe take this language and you'd want to update this text, of course, because the text talks about refund insurance, but I'm opting into AGA, for example,
Yep.
or if I'm declining AGA, right? And we do that, then what that does for us is gives us um, a optional extra called Golf Academy, and we can put a little blurb and then the parent's choice. And this um, section, like the header and the
Yeah,
money and everything, is only applicable grades 9 through postgraduate. So no one else will even see it there.
got it.
So I just don't know if that's something that is like, is that viable? Like, is somebody telling you that at the time of enrollment, or is there a whole separate process that takes place prior to that?
If specific to, let's say, the Golf Academy, those are going to be students that are most likely already know about the Golf Academy. That's the reason they are attending the school,
Great. Yep,
Golf Academy first. Yeah.
that makes sense. And so in that case, what we would do, we would switch it back. I can easily switch that back to be a fee. And what we would do with that line item or that catalog item is we would filter it only to a group of students who had been designated in such a way. And whether that's, I don't know whether you're doing it as a student group. I I really don't recommend student group in this particular case, but more I would say a profile code.
Yeah.
And then you just filter the amount to profile code. And if that profile code exists, they get that
Yeah.
$35,000 fee. And in the absence of that profile code, that fee never shows up on the contract
And
anywhere.
you would be applying that profile code during what the admissions process, correct?
Or anytime, right? If admission process for incoming kiddos that get accepted and
Yeah.
applied to returning students as they are designated. I don't know, like, maybe somebody came to your school last year and then their
Yeah.
best buddy is in the golf academy and they're like, hey, I can do it too. And they tried out and they got a hole in one and now they're in, or whatever it is,
Got
that would not be me ever getting a hole in one for anything.
it.
Um, all right, so let's just switch this back to fee because I feel like it's fee, but at least you get the gist
I
of
do. Yeah.
utilizing an optional extra. Um, what about the other ones? The signature music, anything, are there anything else that's optional like that?
We're going to know ahead of time.
Okay,
I think it's going to be more similar to what we would be doing with the golf. I think applying a profile code, um,
it's probably going to be your best bet.
that sounds like the more realistic option. What would be any other than allowing them to do it part of the contract,
I would do
tagging
it.
them ourselves as with profile codes? Is there any other options or any other way to do it?
I mean, you could use a student group. The reason I hesitate on student group is that student group as a system value is used in lots of other ways downstream, whereas a profile code is very straightforward and specific, and like there either is one or there isn't one, and
Yeah,
it's
no,
something you can
we
manage.
already use student group for our basically our preschool.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to muddy those waters because if you
Right.
decided that you were going to display the student group elsewhere, like on your inquiry or during the change request or anywhere else in admission, if you put Golf Academy in your student group listing, it's going to show up. There's no way to hide it.
Yeah, it's just it'll
Just
look funny.
goofy and kooky. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So you've got your profile codes in here for your staff 50%, your staff 100%. I'm gonna just open up one of these, doesn't matter which one. I'm gonna use the plus sign to copy it. And in that same category of enrollment, I'm just gonna say, what was it called? Albany Golf Academy.
Yep.
Did I spell that right? No. You can count on me.
And then
Oh,
take out the other A.
look at
Yeah.
that. Alabama. What?
Alabama Golf Academy.
It was a vowel fest right there. Okay. Albany Golf Academy. So now if we go back to the system homepage and do just our quick little cache refresh here and go back to our profile codes, we will now see that as a legit profile code right there. And now we can go back to our amounts, find that line item right there, and scooch over to our filtering groups at the end here. Open up the magnifying glass. And here's our newly added profile code, which I can grab right from here because I just
Yep.
added it. Later, when it's not so fresh on the list, the way you can find that is when you click on that magnifying glass, just bring your slider up here to the top, and it's going to be people by profile code. and then you run that query, and then there's your people by profile code.
Got it.
All right, so we've got that in there. And then just, rinse and repeat for your Blue Ocean and your music and anything else that you're going to manage using a profile code, and then set the filtering group to that profile code.
And I presume something like, like those like staff discounts, like for my kids, for instance, my kids get tuition for free. Yeah, those two.
Yep. So
Do you
you,
apply those as profile codes as well, or
the way I would run it, it sounds to me like if we look at your amounts, right? The broadest discount that there is that you are a staff or faculty person, right?
Yep.
That's like everybody gets a staff discount because you are either staff or faculty, but some people are an exception because they only get 50. Or, or some fewer are the exception because they get 100, whatever. You can do exactly what you've done here and manage it by profile code, or you can just set the generic one, like the 10%, to set it to all staff and faculty, and then only manage the 50% and the 100% people separately. So
Yeah.
here you're managing every member of your staff, but maybe you don't need to, but it's completely up to you.
Okay.
But this will work the way that you have it. And it is the discount on the child's contract is because they're related to the staff member who has this. So the members of these groups are the adults, not the kids. Does that make sense?
Can you say that one more time?
Yeah. Yes, I can. And we'll go look at it on Crew and Coben.
Yeah, or Kobe. Yeah, you can say Kobe.
Kobe. Okay. The existence of the discount on the child's contract is
Hmm.
because they're related to the adult who has the role of staff or faculty.
Got it. Okay.
So the members that need to be in these profile code groups are the staff people, the adults, right? So you're not going to put the profile code on the kid, on
Got
Crew,
it.
and Kobe. You're going to put the profile code on you,
Got it.
and
Okay.
they're going to get it because they're related to you.
Okay.
All right. So let's go take a look. I don't know if you've put any profile codes or
I have not.
you haven't done. Okay. So
No.
let's just do that real quick so we can demonstrate that. And you get the 100%.
Yeah.
Sweet. So we're going to open that in a new tab. So what I'm just doing is I'm opening up the filtering group, right? So we're looking at the group called Enrollment Staff 100,
Yeah.
and the people. Oh, advanced. Oh, interesting. What? Can we not do it that way? That is so, so interesting. Okay, so I thought we could add it from the group. That is so crazy. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. We'll add it by you. So we'll go to find staff and faculty.
It's
And
it's
we'll
quite
just,
comforting. It's quite comforting knowing that you still at least
oh my God. Could you imagine if I had to memorize what exists on every single record type in Axiom? Heck no. All I do is click. I click all over the place and I just
yeah.
try to figure it out. All right, so we're going to go to your person record, right? Because the profile code is going to live on you.
Okay. Now,
And
what about
go ahead.
what if it lived on both? So my wife and I both work at the school.
Yeah, that's fine.
That was the other one. What if it was attached to both of us? What would happen?
Completely fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, so we'll put that on you. And then let's click the little caret here to go to the next record.
Yep.
And we'll put it on Tara as well. All right, and then our assumption here is that if we come back and look at one or the other of these guys, there's your staff discount. Now, it looks like it's calculating on the net, Do you want it to do that, or do you want it to calculate on the base?
Probably on the base,
That's
yeah,
what I'm thinking too, yeah. So let
because we're not paying a deposit.
exactly. So the calculation itself is not applicable. Fee types, discounts. Click open the fee type. This only works on percentage
Yeah.
configurations, and we want it to be on the base. And then we can come back.
How did the system know that it was to be, what am I trying to say? I guess that that the discount was applied to a staff member. Like, where did you configure that? Like, how did the system know that that discount was tied to staff members, other than the word staff?
By the filtering group, right? So we have your catalog items for staff
Yeah,
discount,
yeah. Uh-huh.
which have the fee type of staff discount, which the syntax tells the system this is part of online enrollment. It goes against tuition, it's a discount, and the SF is just the appendage, staff and faculty. And then there's a 10% version, a 100% version, and a 50% version. And
Got it.
which
Okay.
version you get depends on which one of these groups your related staff member is assigned to, right?
Okay, I get it now. I'm thinking somehow that it was taking, like, it was required to put I guess, the staff or faculty role,
You
which,
already have the staff faculty role, right? You're already a member of your school staff, right? You have faculty and staff are part of
yeah.
your roles, and Tara is staff. And because Kobe and crew are related to you and your custodial relatives as well, like you could be, Aunt Lucy, and if she's staff and faculty, if you want your filtering group to be any relative of staff and faculty, not just parents, but any relative, then it could also be applicable. But the reason that these two are both receiving that discount is because you're related to them with the role of staff or faculty.
Okay, so it's not just the simple act of applying us in that group or basically becoming members of that group only.
Well, it is, but the upstream of that is that you've already created the CRISP household and it has the right members in it and they're related to each other in the correct way.
Right. But let's say hypothetically, I add someone that's not part of staff or faculty roles, and I add them to this staff group, this enrollment group.
Hmm.
Even though the roles aren't technically staff or faculty, would that discount still be applied because I added them to that group?
Not unless they had a child related to them and then they had the role of staff and faculty,
Okay,
right?
so the role does count. Okay.
It does count
I
100%.
just
Like,
I
is there somebody who you're thinking of that you want?
no, it wouldn't necessarily apply. I'm actually just looking to more the mechanics behind the setup.
Yeah, yeah.
As I
Yeah,
get more and more deeper
mechanics.
into this, and just because I didn't see where that was actually configured.
Yeah, it's 100% because of these groups right here. And so you could take any amount. Like let's say in fact I think this is true, right? We have an amount for the tuition deposit. It's 10%, but you yourself don't have a deposit, right? You don't pay one.
Yeah.
Now, your kids got a zero balance because it's 100% discount, but what happens on 50%? Do they pay a deposit? Staff and faculty at 50%, do they pay a deposit?
Well, it's funny that we even have that. Do we? 'Cause I don't even know who gets that 50% discount now that I think about it.
I don't know. You told
No,
me.
I know.
I don't know who gets it.
So that's the strange. I'm trying to remember where that was actually.
There must be somebody who's grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but let me rephrase. Does are there any staff faculty who pay a deposit, or is it true that they're that no staff faculty have a 10% deposit.
I don't think any staff have a 10% deposit.
Okay, so then we need to configure another line item for the deposit at a zero rate for staff faculty. Okay, so what we need to do is we're going to open up this tuition deposit catalog item.
Yep.
We're going to copy it, and everything else being equal, right? That same fee type for tuition deposit, we're going to set the rate at zero. Doesn't matter whether you leave percentage or not because it's zero.
True, anyways,
And it's
yeah.
not payable online because it's
Yep.
zero.
Yep.
And it's all grade levels, but it's filtered very specifically to all staff and faculty. So if we open up our little magnifying glass here, click on staff and faculty and scroll down till we see the one that's all staff and faculty. Whoop, right there, that one. And run
Neat.
the query. We can filter that item to all staff faculty. So doesn't matter which percent tuition discount group they're in, doesn't matter if their kid is in the Albany Gulf or not, doesn't matter anything else. It's the fact that a tuition deposit is zero for anybody who has the role of staff or faculty.
Okay, real quick question. So you had the catalog category previously as a,
Yeah, go ahead.
what was it? Was it? Can you click back into it real quick? I'm sorry.
Into the
Yeah,
catalog item.
just onto it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can. I can.
Oh wait, no, that one. I thought you had changed the catalog category to
I
a.
did. Yep, it's the fee type. I just have to grab, whenever you copy a record, the fee type goes away and you just have to grab it back again.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's the fee type. But what's catalog category? Is that?
That's going to be your GL codes,
Got it. Okay.
which actually brings up another question. We'll I think we've covered pretty much, well, we haven't covered that yet, but let me skip to tab 5, student billing, where you said yes to this question of do you need separate tracking?
Yeah.
And you've said that you have separate tracking at the campus level. However,
Okay.
your campuses, if I'm not mistaken, are unique grade levels, right? So just by virtue of being in a particular grade,
Yeah.
that's the campus that you're part of, right?
Exactly. You can't control that. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't need to duplicate catalog items to send them to different GLs because they're already being sent based on the grade,
Got
right?
it.
Because so in other words, you can't be having a charge against your year 6 contract for any other campus than the campus where year 6 exists.
Right. Yeah.
So we don't need to replicate items for that one. So we're fine there. And then you said, are there cases where you need multiple bank accounts or multiple AR accounts for other variables? Is it again same deal campus or are there other variables?
There's probably other variables, and I do not have that information.
Okay. That would
So,
be your student billing person anyway. Are you
correct.
working with Alex?
No, Sam.
Sam, perfect. Yeah. So you guys can talk about that.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So I'm gonna
Which
run away from that tab.
yeah,
I
which
hate
we're actually almost, we're almost done with that as well. So,
Ooh, good. Ooh.
no,
Okay.
trust me. Yes.
Oh, good gosh, I just can't stand it. Okay, cool. So I feel like we talked about those additional or optional extras. If you circle back with your team and it's like, oh no, that we do have an optional extra, like you could opt into the lunch program or you could opt into the bus transportation or whatever. Just let me know and we can set those up. But at least now you saw how the fee type can be reconfigured to be an optional
Yeah.
syntax item.
Yeah.
And then that opt in and opt out text that gets inserted there. All right. Are there specific selections during enrollment, like student groups or day versus boarding? And that's a big fat yes over here. So, what we need to do is, firstly, let's go to the home section. Okay. There. Your school has the financial aid module that you've,
Yes.
and so we're going to use this financial aid home section so that we can do three things all within one section. One is we can display whether or not financial aid was requested. Um, either if it's a returning student, they requested it last year, so it says requested, but they could change their mind for this year, not requested, or vice versa. That's item one. Item two, we can show a form where they can then choose yes or no, choose their student group, choose their day versus boarding, etc. And third, once they've done those things, when you're ready to display their financial aid letter, right, the amount of the award that they received, that can also appear in this section. What we can change, though, is that this does not need to just strictly say financial aid. This can say enrollment intention and financial aid, so that right here in this section, and we could move it up or move it down or whatever, those student groups can be configured on here so that they'll be able to choose their student group based on their grade that they're heading into for next year. Does that make sense? Or do you need me to say that again?
Yeah, one more time.
Okay.
Because it was well, what's tripping me up right here also is that right there said enrollment intentions,
Mhm.
which seemed like the same form as what was already in the. There was another. Actually, I disabled it on here for enrollment intention.
Intention.
Seemed like the exact same form.
There is only one intention form. And so you did see it in two places. Earlier, I went and I just disabled it I disabled the home section called intention
Yeah.
and I enabled the section called financial aid. Because if you look at the type of the section, the reason we want to use this financial aid section is because that's the one that ties you to your financial aid module. And so you'll be able to post the requested or not requested and the letter once you give them a financial aid award and there's a letter. You can't do that using the enrollment intention. It's
Right.
only for the intention.
Yeah.
So we're going to swap it out. But the reason why you're seeing this form looking like this, which is not at all what we want it to look like, is because it hasn't been configured yet.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And so what we want to be able to do, if we just let's get rid of these and go back to our test kid, our new enrollment kid, which is actually grade 8, which is not going to help us at all. Um, hold up for a sec. Let me just go to your student groups. I just don't remember them because we did admission a long time ago. Little Windsors. Okay, so
Yep.
the form would show the option for student group applying for only for Little Windsor grades. And it could also show resident status for day or boarding, campus, which again, I don't think you need because the grade determines the campus,
Correct. We do not need that.
and then requesting financial aid. Because you do have day and boarding, don't you?
We do. It's
Yeah.
boarding is just very limited. We do offer it. We still have it.
So would we want to display
It's in the
it?
works of potentially phasing it out a little bit from my understanding, but again, that's above my but we still have it. We still offer it. So it has to be in there.
Yeah, I think it does have to be in. And can you be a boarder with any grade level or what
No.
grade level
9 and up.
post grad, right? Can a post grad be a boarder?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then student group is enabled, but only for Little Windsor.
Yeah.
And then campus, I think, is moot.
Yep.
And then financial aid request. Can are little kids eligible for assistance or does it only start at like kindergarten?
No, it actually only starts technically actually grade 6. So
Perfect.
it's only at our upper school campus.
Cool. Perfect. Okay. So let me request that configuration. And also, I still need to request your header, your hex code for your header, because you're going to notice if we open up this guy again. Oh, I guess it was on the re-enrollment where you could see it really, really well. Let's go to these.
The blue one?
The image that you have in there, the blue, you see how
Yep.
our header is black?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We can put your hex color in there so that the
Oh,
header
nice.
matches. Let me configure the intention form the way we just laid that out. Then you'll see that when we click on this, and then you can decide if you want to use it or you don't want to use it or we need any changes to it. It's, in my opinion, impossible to know by looking at this because this is not what it will look like.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And what I've now determined in helping me with implementation is I kind of set it up as much as I can, as much as I know. It's too hard to get people all together. I set it up as far as I can, and then we tweak from there.
Yeah, yeah, totally with you. Totally with you. Okay, I feel like we discovered those things together. Cool.
Yes, we
You're exactly right to approach it in that way. Do what you can and do your best to get everybody together. The one thing that I'll say to you, and I'm telling you this to be in support of you. Don't sit around thinking you should know something if you don't know it. Just ask, right?
okay.
I am here. I am assigned to you. I have the case open. I sit here at my desk all day and answer questions in cases in between other stuff.
Okay.
So if I can keep you moving by answering your question, let's do it.
Yeah,
Don't just
yeah.
wait and have like a month go by and be like, dang, I wish I knew that a month ago.
Yep. Okay. No, I
Okay,
appreciate that.
cool, cool. So we did all of those things on the worksheet. The next thing that I wanted to just show you kind of briefly here is a little bit about your new financial aid module.
Yep, that's gonna be my next question.
Right. So let's just kind of dive into that a little bit. One of the things that
Because we're actually actively going over financial aid. So we've created those two different inquiry pages for in the admissions process, where one is specific to people that are requesting financial aid. We have that, tagged already.
okay.
I forget what you call it. But anyways, so in the admissions side, we can actually see everyone that is requesting financial aid right now.
Yep.
And and so it's very applicable right this second.
Perfect. Well, then let's dive in and let's do it. First thing I'll do is let me just open up the record of Kid 1 test family, who is a incoming admission candidate who has been accepted. All right, so good for you, Kid One. Kid One is in fact requesting financial aid, as you can see right there. So if we go to your financial aid homepage, one of the things you're going to need to do every year when you're ready to start your re-enrollment for the next school year is you're going to need to come to your active FA year and move it forward so that it's associating the applications with that next year. So we're here in the active year of 26, which is perfect.
And so that again, that is 26, 27. That's for the
Yeah,
next.
correct. Yep. Veracross always uses the first year, not the year that they would age out, right?
Right.
The year that they're entering. Um, And so you have an import tool, which I'm sure you've used ad
Oh yeah.
nauseum, probably
Yeah,
during academics. Yeah, look at you. All you're a wizard when
yeah.
it comes to all that.
I know yes.
When you click on your imports there, if you just start typing the word financial, you
Yep.
have a self-service import for financial aid application and award amounts. And if you open that, you have your documentation right here that tells you everything you need to know about the import, and you also have the CSV.
Yep.
So, what is important to know about Axiom's financial aid module is that it is not an application for financial aid, right? Your parents don't come here, upload their tax returns, give you all their disclosures, and then it runs a calculation and tells you the need. That's not what our tool is. You're going to keep using your other tool, SSS, Clarity, whoever it is, whatever it is, right? Your self-service import,
We
if
don't
you,
have another tool. It's
okay,
basic. It's
that's cool. Well, if you ever do, right, then this import will take those data from that third party and put it into the CSV and import it for you. If you're not there yet and you get there in a future year, now you know. So, what you'll do instead is you'll be creating a financial aid application record type. It's not an application for financial aid. Okay. So if I go add an application right here from the homepage, I could add a financial aid application record for my test kid. And I'm going to do it with test kid one test family. That's who,
just for clarity. So hypothetically, let's say the application, financial aid application that someone filled out, let's say through that third party, like Clarity,
yep.
we are taking that application and putting it as a record within Veracross.
Yep, you'd use the import type and the data from Clarity comes into the CSV. You run the import and it creates this record that we're looking at here with all the data from Clarity inserted
Yeah.
into it.
And then for us specifically, we have our own, basically our whatever our financial aid system is. If
Your
it's an Excel
spreadsheet,
spreadsheet.
your notebook, whatever it is, you can use that CSV and populate it with all the info that you have, and that import will create this record that we just created
Okay.
manually.
Just to make sure. Okay, good.
Yep. So, in other words, your choice is create them one by one or populate a CSV and create them in batch. That's really your choice. Okay.
Right now you're doing it one by one. This
I'm
is
doing a oneer.
okay.
Yep. I'm doing a oneer. So I've got kid one test family for 26-27 grade 8, and I'm just going to go ahead and add that financial aid application record type. Down here at the bottom, I can now build my award. The very first data point is what is the award type? In other words, how do you describe the
Yeah, yeah.
award?
Gotcha.
Is it a grant? Is it tuition assistance? Is it financial aid? Is it, whatever? These words, these four words, grant, loan, stipend, remission, are in everyone's database by default. You don't need to use those. You tell me what words you want here, right? If you want simply tuition assistance, you need to tell me that, and I need to configure that for you.
Okay. So that's not something that we can't configure ourselves.
And I can't either. I have to have engineering do
Oh,
it.
really? Okay.
So in our example, we're going to choose grant for the first award, but again, imagine that this says tuition, whatever. The next category is the category. Sorry, the next data point is the category. And this takes what you've described as the award and it says, what's it going toward?
Yeah.
So the described award is drawing down on what?
Yeah.
Right? It's gonna a grant that's drawing down on tuition, and maybe you're gonna set up the Eric Crisp Fund and the Carol Rock Scholarship and
Right.
the whatever else, right? You could have 20 different, scholarships, whatever they are. And kid one is going to get, $2,000 in this with this type and category. And then let's just say they're also going to get a stipend for their room and board. Who knows? Maybe they're not, maybe they are, right? 3,000 over there. Okay, we add that. The application record goes, cool, they're getting 5,000. Their tuition is 19,500. That means they need, 19,500 to be covered, blah, blah, blah. If you're using a third party like a Clarity, another data point that's going to come over with that import would be the parent contribution based on what they told that system, right? Their tax returns, their income, their bank account, all that other stuff is going to bring the need in. But our tool doesn't do that.
Yeah.
All right. Then you go, okay, yep, that's what we're going to give this person. So we're going to go ahead and offer that up as a award, and we're going to, I think, post these. I forget what order you do this in. I don't know. It'll error out if you don't do it right. Okay, cool. So those are posted. Then you lock it, and then you're good to go, right? So you've got 2,000 coming in against tuition, and you've got 3,000 coming in against room and board. So I need from you what your different award types should be. And if you want different categories, I need those as well. So before I do anything here, let me go to those two places and just show you where they are so that you can revisit them and determine with your team if you guys need any changes. Financial aid homepage. On the configuration tile, we have award types. Here are the four that you'll see by default. But again, if you want tuition assistance, financial aid, whatever, however you describe the awards that you're giving. And then second one, excuse me. No idea what just happened.
No, no, it's all good.
Catalog category two. Wow, that's awesome. Catalog category two is the same exact thing as your fee types. So let's just go grab a financial aid fee type. I'm just going to do financial aid for both. But if you give me different ones, we can create all these. So we're going to pair up the category to its fee type. The fee type is what connects this amount, this discount or this award to the contract itself on online enrollment. So if I update those records, I'm so sorry. Okay. So we've got our categories, and now our categories are tied to fee types on the back end. We can go to our financial aid homepage. We can see that we have one total award that's been offered, and then the stats will, it will start to create its own set of stats. You have an action menu where you can then take all of your awards that you've just built out or you imported, whatever way that they all got in there. You can now post all of those over to online enrollment in one fell swoop. So you import those posted awards, it goes great, that's all done. And then you come to your kid. I think I have Lily. Yeah, let's get out of here. Come back to our kid. Right. Requested, they gave us their intention. We gave them an award. There's their award showing up on the contract. It's totaled because both of those line items were both attached to the same fee type called financial aid. But if you wanted them itemized, like the grant towards tuition is this line, and then the Carol Rock one is this one, and then the Eric Crisp one is this one, we can do that. And you can then take, where's my kids thing here? Let's just go right here. Awards offered. View the detail. Back to the application record. There's a letter that you can associate. And I'll just say this, oops. This is text insert text. The text insert is a merge field that you can place somewhere in the letter if you need to put specific text into that template. And now, what the heck? I'm so sorry. Give me a second.
Hey, take your time. Go ahead.
All right, I think I'm better.
Awesome. It's funny with your background, the way it's on a decline as well. It look actually because you get smaller, it looks like you're actually going down the hill.
I'm diving into the reservoir.
Yeah.
This is this picture is taken just north of Golden, Colorado. It's the Dillon Reservoir, and my son is in college there.
Oh,
And
nice.
we just went for Parents Weekend, and it's an engineering school,
Uh-huh.
and they're doing research on this reservoir. Um, it's super cool because the city of Denver has like a major water shortage. And so they're building a new dam on this reservoir so that they can raise the height of the water.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like it's low.
It was super cool. But anyway, yeah. So real place, real picture. All right. So if we go over to the enrollment record for this kid, kid one, this financial aid display status is currently set to capture the intention. That's why you're seeing on the home section for financial aid. And again, we can change this title to say intentions and aid or whatever. The reason why this button is here is because we've said capture the intention, but we could change that now to display the letter. And when we do that, the letter is there instead, right? So they can click view their letter. This can get your logo and all your stuff. This is a text template that you can customize and you can use merge fields.
Yep.
And then we can show line by line what they're receiving. And so right now it's showing you the award type in column one. It's showing you the award category in column two, and then each line item, it's totaling it up. The contract is showing the total. And if you decide that you have scholarships, so let's just go back to,
Which we do. Let's say, like for instance, one scholarship would be like it's called BYF, Bahamas Youth Foundation.
love it. So on the financial aid homepage, plus add menu, scholarships. Now that really is a vowel fest. Youth Fund
Foundation,
Foundation.
Bahamas. There you go.
Oh,
There's lots of Bahamas.
that makes sense. All right. And then let's go back to kid one and let's change out this room and board. I have to unlock it. Let's put the scholarship name in there. And if you use a scholarship name, that replaces the category name on the letter.
Got it.
Okay. So a decision point for your team is it enough that the letter itself itemizes every line and describes it in this way such that the contract is perfectly fine just having one total that draws down? Or does the team also want every line item reflected on the contract?
Okay.
And if that's true, if the second thing is true that they need then we have to create separate fee types. We can't just use financial aid for everything. We need to create scholarship fee types, award category fee types, and so forth, which is easy. We can do that.
And that's done also through student in the catalog item in student billing.
Yep, what would happen is when the parent signs their contract, all of these individual line items get locked in, tied to this kid for this school year, and then that's what you import over to student billing.
Uh,
Okay?
Awesome.
Yeah. I think we covered a lot of territory
We
today.
did. We did.
In between me choking, sorry about that.
No, no, you're good. I have
I'm
a
good
quick question.
now.
Before you move off this, real quick. So you see like date of birth?
Yep, up
You see
here.
how it's day, month, year? I'm noticing that throughout the system as well. Like it just came across, I just opened up a new case actually, like on the application summary and admissions.
Where someplace there's a way to change it. Uh, oh, sweet. Uh,
Ah,
which way should it be?
month, day, year. We want month, day, year. Will that propagate throughout everything?
I don't know. Be cool if it did. Wah, wah.
Didn't right there, but at
Yeah.
least it's in admissions. That was the first.
Yeah. So if you've already submitted a case, they'll take care of it. That wouldn't be something I could fix anyway. That would have to go to engineering.
Oh, but theoretically, engineering could change that in the online enrollment as well. Okay.
Absolutely. They can change it all system wide for
Okay.
you. Let's look. Let's just look in your on your system homepage. There are system parameters. I don't know whether it's a system parameter.
I I looked, but
I think it's in the metadata. I don't think it's anything we can do. Sorry.
nope, no worries.
Well, groovy. I think we're in a good place.
We are, and I will get to work. Also, I have a real quick question. This is an admissions question. Now, help
I'll
me
allow it.
just real quick. A checklist item that we just wanted to add just today came up where we have not been asking for discipline records. Now,
Okay.
what we would like, similar to like a teacher recommendation and similar to, I guess, that new feature where you can actually request transcripts from schools,
Yeah, the file
something,
upload.
is there
Yeah.
something similar that we can send out a form for discipline records?
Mhm. So in addition to academic records and academic records two and academics threes, you want a separate one for discipline.
Yes.
Okay. So with any checklist item, you must start in the library. So
Yep, I know that.
add a
Yep.
new checklist item. Discipline. Did I spell that right?
Yeah. Looks right to me.
Amazing.
I can understand.
Amazing. Okay, it's in the library. Now
Yep.
we can go to the reg season.
Yep.
Which category would you like it to go into?
Uh,
Academic history,
Probably
maybe?
under academic history. Yeah.
Makes sense. This is going to cause you an issue because you need to have a one-to-one relationship between your library items and your registration season items. So that's going to cause an issue.
Oh, interesting. This is what Chris did this.
Chris, who?
Chris Wright.
Well, I'm just telling you.
Well,
I'll show,
it
I'm
was
gonna
specific
I'm
to
gonna
just
save
grade
you a
nine.
query. I'm gonna save you a query to show you. What grades get discipline record request?
Uh, for now, let's just do grade six.
Six and up?
Yeah, I might change that, but
That's fine. You know how to do.
yep.
Okay. So then discipline records, and we would be hacking the recommendation workflow, right?
Yep.
So if we open up this checklist item, you're going to see that since we said to the system, we want to use the recommendation widget type, it's going to go, cool, which form should I use?
Yeah.
So we need to go build a form to tie to this checklist item so that it gets, so that it does all the right things. So let's just go to our admission candidate changes, admission portal, recommendation forms,
Yeah.
and we'll make a new one called discipline request. Do, do, do. We need a section on the web form. Mm, And we need a file upload. All right, and on that generic section, we need some information. Header is always nice. Maybe a paragraph that says, the parent has authorized this request. Please upload the blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And maybe you want to do check boxes and say mark all record types included or something, and then say like, discipline, attendance,
Yeah.
whatever it might be. And maybe you don't even need that one. Who knows?
Hmm.
Right? And so then they do that, and then maybe it might be good after the file itself gets uploaded that you do please upload the files marked above or whatever, right? And then maybe something like a toggle that says, I have completed the request or something. And then maybe you want to get like their contact info in case you need to follow up. Something, something, who knows, right? So now we can come all the way back to the top of the hierarchy there and just open it up and take a look. Discipline records request, they authorize this thing, mark all the things, upload the thing, toggle the thing, submit the thing. Does that make sense?
It does.
And
So,
so now we go back to our checklist item, which was all the way over here, and do a little cache refresh. We can now say it is the discipline record form that needs to be sent. And then because we're hacking the recommendation workflow, the notification has to be enabled to go to the form submitter, but we want to copy one of these templates so that it doesn't say you have a recommendation request, it says you have a
but
discipline
discipline.
records,
Yeah.
whatever thingamajig. So hopefully I have a saved query for you in your shared workspace. I do, email templates, external recommendation, copy record, records. Okay, you have a records request form, so and so, blah, blah, blah.
I
Uh,
can I can change all that.
You can
Okay.
change all that. Yeah. Okay. And then coming back here, we just do again a little cache refresh. It's okay. Reload. Do, 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 do. Requested. Records request to the form submitter must be enabled. And that's what puts the button on the checklist item for the parent to put in the name and email of the person from whom you're going to get this information. So please enter the full name and email of the whoever at the current school.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 right? Now, here's a quiz. This is going to take you back a little ways. Whenever you make a change to your master registration season checklist, what must you do?
You gotta refresh it with the action item.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I learned.
I love it. All right, so now you can pull up one of your testers that is in grade 6 through post grad and make sure that you can see that thing.
Got it. Awesome. Cool. You're the best.
Why, thank you. I will see